Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and this is Beyond 100 Days of Comics. I think it just says Beyond 100 on the little YouTube title thing, but it is actually Beyond 100 Days of Comics because this is where I pick up where I left off after I finished my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, which is when we put at least 30 minutes a day aside to work on our own personal comic book projects. And you know, I've been struggling with that afterwards, but for the past 2 weeks I'm kind of back on the ball again. This is my second update in as many weeks, which is cool, and that's kind of what I planned out to do with these Beyond 100s. It's just kind of a weekly update afterwards. So yeah, so I've made more progress on my comic books, so things are moving along, and as long as I can keep going at this pace, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I would like to have a little more time to work on it because I want to get this thing done. I've still kind of resigned myself to the fact that it probably won't be finished by May, which is when Phoenix Comic Con is. But I'm thinking of maybe doing some sort of little preview for the people that have been jonesing for it. So not a lot of people, but there's a few people out there that have asked about it. So I want to be able to deliver something, hopefully. And then I've got other stuff that I want to get ready for then. So we'll see. But yeah, client work is still moving along. I'm very busy doing that, but I have found the time to work on my personal project, Young and the Dead. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead, Kids vs. Zombies, an homage to all those 80s kid adventure films like Goonies, Monster Squad, E.T., Explorers, the list goes on. But anyway, this is issue 2. This is currently on my store at circworks.com. And I was able to ink another page on that, which I'll show you, but I was going to show you some other stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I'm back in my studio, and when I say back, usually when I film these, I'm always in my studio, but the weird thing is, lately I haven't been spending a lot of time in here, although I've been working, but the way my kind of studio's set up, I've kind of got this this bedroom here that I've, you know, it's my art studio, but it's also got a bed in it. And my daughter's been like sleeping in here for whatever reason. She doesn't sleep in her own room. She likes it. I think this bed is just way more comfortable, the one that's in here, but it's sort of a spare bedroom slash studio. So anyway, and then adjacent to that, out here, I've got a little loft area, and that's where my computers are. And I've been, you know, doing most of my work on the computer lately, but even the comic book stuff now, what I find that I'm doing is just drawing it on the computer, which isn't great because it's, you know, it's not really made for that. So I got to get back to kind of drawing on the desk because, for one thing, the rulers and stuff, I mean, this is kind of my setup out there. It's kind of, you know, so I've got, this is my, my Wacom tablet. Okay, this is what I do my drawing on. It's not a Cintiq, unfortunately, but it is. It's just a regular Wacom tablet. And if you guys didn't know, I did some videos before about the tablet monitor that I got, and I'm sure I mentioned it other places, but I don't know if I mentioned it on here. But I have returned that. It just was not working out for me, so I'm now back to drawing on the Intuos. But what I realized was that this tablet is about the same size as a comic book page. So, you know, here's a comic book page, fits right on here. So I've just kind of been using this on my table and drawing, and it's really not great. And then I'll put like the whole, you know, the whole pad of these comic book pages on here because I don't want to screw this surface up. But anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing. And it's kind of hard, especially when I've been doing inking. It's hard, but the reason why I've been doing that is just because I'm over there by the computer, and I got stuff on my monitors for reference. I mean, I do have like an iPad. Like when I draw in here, I'll usually use the iPad for reference, but I don't know. It's just easier for me to work a computer than the tablet for whatever reason. So, but I need to get back on here because it's really difficult trying to rule things out and everything. And I've got like I don't know what they call it, the rulers that kind of move up and down on the wire across the table. I might put this back on here, this table here, which is it's like a light table, but it's also my drawing table. So something cool that well, for me anyway, I was excited. It's probably no big deal to you guys, but I picked up some new lamps, and I got these. They're silver. I was hoping I could find black, but silver's cool too. But these, I got these at IKEA for like $10. And I was looking for lamps because I was using these old, let me show you, these old broken ass lamps. You see these? I mean, these were all taped together with like electrical tape and little Velcro things, and they were just not good. So I had 2 of these that I've just been making them work, and they're just garbage. And I will be happy to throw these things out. But you know, I've looked for other lamps, and I don't know. I looked in like the Targets and the WalMarts and stuff. I guess I could have looked online and found something, but or just the art stores or whatever. But they were like around. Most of them were like around $50. I'm like, I don't know if I want. That's $100, you know, total. But yeah, these are real nice. They seem to work great. I got those at IKEA, so there's an IKEA near you, or I assume you can order them online, but you probably have to pay shipping. But yeah, $10 a pop, so you can't really beat that with the bat. So so yeah, I got that, and so yeah, I really need to get over to this desk and start doing more of my drawing on the desk. What else is going on? Oh, another thing I wanted to mention, just because this is all, when you film these videos, it's always a good place if you have questions or whatever to ask, because you usually get some responses and everything. Let me move, that's kind of bright over there, so we'll kind of move back here some. My dad let me borrow, or maybe gave me this camera. I say gave because he let me borrow it, but he's probably never going to ask for it back or use it, so so for all intents and purposes, it's probably mine now. But anyway, he gave me this Nikon camera. It's an older model, but it's, you know, it's a good camera, especially for when it came out and everything. And I don't have a good camera. I kept breaking them or whatever. But but the thing is, I was hoping that I could take video with this, and evidently it only takes like 5 minutes of video, which isn't going to work for my purposes. So I'm looking at some options, you know, because I want to get, I've just been having major problems. If you watch any of my Fan Art Friday videos, you'll know that the videos keep cutting out on me because the space on my phone is just very limited, I guess. I don't know if it's the podcasts that are on there. I've deleted a bunch of things, but I guess I have to go back in, and it should have plenty of space. I don't know why I'm running out of room, because after I do a video, I delete it, and so I don't know. But anytime I try to do those like 45-minute, hour-long videos, it just stops, and it's, you know, the phone is getting less and less memory on it. So, but I'm looking at just a separate camera just to do that kind of stuff. So I want a decent camera, comparable, I guess, to the phone, probably a little better, so I can have a little bit of upgrade. But that takes decent pictures, and that I can do, because I want to do more of these videos. The good thing about the phone is, because it's so lightweight, that I can, I've just got kind of a little mount that this is, here's the setup for my Fan Art Friday. It's just a little piece of PVC that I had left over from a display from my convention, and then this little like tripod type thingy, and then this iPod just kind of fits in there, and then it just so sits right over my desk, and I draw, and it's right on top, and it seems to work pretty good, even though it's, you know, it's not the nicest looking thing. But so that's kind of what I've been using. But you know, obviously I can't take a camera like this and mount it on something like that, because it's way too heavy. So that is the one, that's the benefit when you're doing art videos, is to have a very lightweight camera, preferably one that you can somehow hook up to a tripod. You know, I don't know, maybe I could just find like an old iPhone or something. I don't know. Those are still pretty expensive. Even the older iPhones can be pricey. But if you guys have any suggestions, I think Gazbot has tried a bunch of different cameras out, a bunch of what do you call them, GoPros, and they didn't really work for him. So I don't know. But if anyone has any suggestions on, you know, not super pricey, but decent cameras that I can use, because I want to eventually, again, start getting to do these other videos that I talked about when I wrapped up my 100 Days of Making Comics. So anyway, if you've got suggestions on that, I just wanted to put that out there. But let's see. Let's get to the artwork. First of all, before I get to Young and the Dead, which is kind of what I'm here for, what this is all about, I have been working on this comic or issue. I don't know if it's issue 2. It's just another, because it's not like a series. They're just but a second type of this time traveler comic, which is it's an educational comic that's distributed with schools, and like I assume they go to schools and they do talks and things like that, and different organizations buy them and distribute them through classes or schools or whatever. So I'm working on issue 2, and this is the thing that kind of why I had to kind of put the brakes on Young and the Dead for a while, just because again, this was a paying job. It actually pays pretty decent for what it is, so I really couldn't turn it down. And it is making comics, which is fun. So let's see. So I've got about, let's see, 7 pages in. So I'm about halfway penciled. I tightened things up a little bit. I don't know if you guys, you know what? Let me see if I can shut this thing here. I don't know if that works. Can you see that? So, you know, it centers around a free throw artist or artist. I don't know. You know, he's the champion, free throw champion basketball, whatever. But yeah, I tighten these pages up a little bit. I'm gonna send those over, get them approved, so I can start inking, and then hopefully have my son start flatting, because I think this whole book has to be done by the end of the month. But it's a simpler style than my Young and the Dead. There's not a whole lot of background stuff in there. You know, basically kind of a lot of talking heads, because it's mostly dialogue, and it's just the way, I didn't write it, but the way it's written, there's not a whole lot of action in it, which, you know, I may have, sometimes I'll make suggestions on that, but this is, you know, I'm very limited time, so I'm just gonna, you know, do the artwork and everything and do the best I can with that and make sure it looks good according to the script. Here we're starting to get there's a little more backgrounds and stuff in this one, you know, because you do have to, I mean, you obviously have to establish where you are and everything like that. So yeah, so I got those pages done, which is good. Like I said, I'm probably more than halfway done with the pencils, and then I can do the inks and all that stuff. So yeah, cool. So moving along on that, and you know, as soon as this is finished, then hopefully I'll have more time to get back to Young and the Dead. So speaking of Young and the Dead, where are we? Oh yeah. So this is the page that I just finished, another inked page. And after this, I've got one more page that's penciled, and then I'll probably ink that. And then I got to get back to penciling. So I've got to start thinking, because penciling, you know, I think inking may be a little more technical, but penciling is definitely where you have to do a lot of the thinking and everything like that. So, but anyway, so here's another page of Young and the Dead. Again, we've got the Trans Am, the Firebird, and a bunch of zombies and a bunch of kids, and so yeah, that's another finished page, and we're getting along. So this is page 9, so not quite halfway done yet, but getting there, you know. But yeah, I'm just hoping once this other comic's done, I'll get back to rolling on that and everything. So yeah, what else is going on? Let's see, the 100s, some cool stuff going on with that. Oh, the one thing I did want to mention, I guess it's probably not that important right now, but it was something that I did want to bring up. Just because it's just weird. It's weird, like when you work with clients and stuff like that. But so on the time traveler book that I showed you guys, like I said, it centers around this free throw champion guy, and it's kind of about his story. He kind of had a hard start in life, and then he kind of turned things around and everything. So he goes to school and talks to kids and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I met the guy, and he seemed really cool and everything. But there's scenes in this book where we go back to his past, and there's something in my mouth there. All right, so we go back. He goes back, and there's scenes from when he was a kid, and there's scenes of his family and everything. And so, you know, I email the guy and I'm like, you know, can I get some pictures of what you looked like as a kid and of your family and everything, and you know, never heard back. And I don't know, you know, I don't know what kind of his level of success is or whatever. I know he tours, you know, tours all around and does these things at NBA games and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't know how busy the guy is, but it's really difficult to do a comic when you can't get reference. And I think Kevin Cross was talking about this too, which is kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because it's anytime you can kind of commiserate with other artists about issues you're going through. But yeah, I mean, I think Kevin needed this building, and you think that's something that it was a building in I don't know if it exists anymore. I don't. Okay, yeah, sorry for that little cut. My camera cut off again, so going back to the whole reason why I need to get that new camera. And then I was thinking about it because I had mentioned an old iPhone, and the reason I've got the iPhone is at 5, I think, right now. And before I had a 4, and one of the reasons I upgraded to the 5, besides the fact that they've got like a 6 or whatever, so I was a little behind, but was that it's got the two. You could see the camera on both sides. With the old 4, you couldn't see what you were filming if you're trying to like look at it. So, or you know, because I want to make sure I'm in the frame of my artwork or whatever. So whatever camera I'm looking at, I want to make sure that I can see that when I'm filming to make sure everything's in the frame. So that's, I guess, one of the stipulations. So if you have a camera recommendation, that would be preferable. But anyway, because I actually still have the old iPhone 4, which I could use that because it has plenty of space on it and everything. And my daughter's using it and everything, and it doesn't have that. You can film yourself, but you can't see what you're filming at the time. But anyway, so what was I talking about? I was talking about the reference thing. Yeah. So yeah, Kevin Cross, who started 100 Days of Making Comics. If you aren't familiar, I'm sure you are. But he was kind of ranting a little bit about how. He couldn't find this picture, and it seemed like that would be something that the publisher might be able to supply, especially if they're, you know, in England, and that's where it takes place, if it still exists or whatever. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm trying to. It's kind of hard to cut. It's hard for me to look at somebody and then figure out what they looked like as a kid, especially, you know, because the guy I'm drawing, he's got real long braids and everything like that. So I don't know. You know, judging by the length of his hair, assuming that it's real, that it's that he probably has long hair for a while, or unless his hair grows real fast. I don't know, you know. So I didn't know what to make him with long hair, short hair, whatever. He's got a family. I don't know what his family looks like. I know he's a wife and a daughter, so I try to do my best with that. But so, you know, and I talked to the guy I'm working with, and he says, "Oh, that's not, you know," he act like it wasn't as important. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I give them the sketches, and if they're like, "That doesn't look like me," I'm like, "Well, it's kind of, I'm not a psychic, you know." So anyway, that was just a little something that I wanted to bring up. But yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to commission somebody to do an artist, and you have these things, I mean, it's to your benefit to provide as much information as you can. So. I don't know, but anyway, we'll see. I'm just going to be really upset if they come back and says that, you know, can you draw me like this, when before it didn't seem like he had any interest in giving me reference photos, or it wasn't that important to him. So we'll see. And I don't know. I don't know what his involvement is. The guy that the story's about. I know I'm working with the guy that's in charge of the kind of nonprofit organization. So anyway, that's that. What was I gonna go to? I was gonna talk about the 100. So yeah, it seems what's cool is it's almost like a lot of people are like coming back to the 100s right now. So you know, obviously Kevin Cross started over again. I saw some other people that are kind of returned. Some other people already have, like Marshall Couture is doing it again, but it's he's doing 100 Days of Painting instead of comics, but it's still, you know, it's still kind of the same principle. Let's see, who else? Boots and Bats. Elena has returned. She's doing her comic and everything again. Johannes Wick, sorry. I think he's been talking about returning. I think he started yet, but it sounds like he's going to do it. Farrell Bolding, which is another guy, he got to like day 80 and kind of dropped off, but he's back. And what's cool is that, you know, he was kind of beating himself up. I saw his first video. He's kind of beating himself up a little bit about getting that far along and just stopping. But really the cool thing about him is he actually finished a book within that amount of time, which a lot of people I don't think too many people have done that, you know, myself included. I'm still working on the same book. But I think maybe Marshall, I don't know, I think Marshall might have completed a book with his time, and he didn't technically finish either. So maybe that's a trick. Maybe you don't just finish the book and you don't have to finish the 100 days. I don't know. But let's see. Dark and Mar, I think her name's Sandy. She's back at it. I think she's got her first video up, so hopefully she'll keep on that. And then let's see. Introducing Emmy. She seems like she's putting new videos out and everything, so that's kind of cool. It's like a lot of the people are returning. I know, so some of us people we've been doing updates, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. Like myself, Kenny Keene, he always does updates and everything, so that's cool. But it seems like people are still, you know, watching other people's videos and all that kind of stuff, and staying involved with the 100s, because I was kind of worried, you know, after you know, it was just kind of Gazbot kind of pushing along and no one else was. So it's nice to see that it's kind of it's continuing on. So we've got a lot of people returning, but we'd like to see probably some new blood, you know, kind of get in the mix and everything like that. But so speaking of the 100s, and I mentioned Gazbot, I believe this is his final day. I think he shoots his videos late at night. I tend to do these a little earlier. So really excited to see what he's going to have for his final days, and just congratulations, because I just think I think he just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he just put a lot of time into his videos, a lot of energy. Obviously, he's got a lot of energy to put out there. But it's, yeah, I just really enjoyed the video, and I hope he's back and doing. He's gonna go on vacation and everything, but hopefully he comes back, he'll have more content, because, yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool watching his videos, and I hope he continues to do that. But congratulations! I mean, again, Gazbot, you did an awesome job, and. Especially because you were kind of, like I said, you're kind of alone. So, I think he added a lot of, you know, kind of just his own personality and a lot of new things. Because I think when a lot of us join, we kind of take little bits and pieces of what came before. But he's you know, it's like totally him, and he does some cool stuff. And if you haven't checked out his stuff, you definitely should. So. If I have time, I'll leave a link to all those people. But congratulations to Gazbot, and yeah, that's about it. I don't know how much longer this video is going to go before it cuts out again. I took the first half of the video, uploaded on my hard drive. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to figure out something with this camera. So anyway, thanks for watching this, and leave comments. Thanks for subscribing and liking and commenting and everything. But I got tons of stuff to do as usual, so I got to get back to that. So that is all.